Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing about building your first Chrome extension. First of all, what is a Chrome extension and why do you use it? So a Chrome extension basically enhances the user experience by adding new features or modifying existing features. So at this point, you may be thinking, how do Chrome extensions work? That is exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. In this video, you will learn to build your first Chrome extension. So there are three very simple prerequisites for building your first Chrome extension. You need to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's it. So this is the project structure of the extension. You'll have a file named manifest.json, a background.js, a content.js, a popup.html, a popup.js, a styles.css, and an icon.png. So let's look at each file in detail. So what's manifest.json? But before that, we need to know what is JSON. So JSON is basically the son of JavaScript. Jokes apart, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation and it is used to store data in the format of a JavaScript object. So the manifest.json will contain the basic data needed for the extension. Then we have background.js. So background.js will run in the background and manage the events of your extension. So what are events? Events can be literally any action happening with your extension or the web page the extension's interacting with. Now we have content.js. So content.js interacts with the web pages you visit and can send some data to the background script to communicate and initiate events. So basically content.js can be the source of events to which the background script responds, and it can interact with the background script as well as the web page you're currently visiting to look for data or modify your current web page. The popup.html is the UI for your extension when clicked. The popup.js is the script that handles interactions in the popup.html. So then we have styles.css. So as you may already know, it's basically the styles for all your HTML documents. Now it's time to write some code. So I have my Visual Studio Code window open up here, and we have background.js, content.js, manifest.json, popup.html, popup.js, and styles.css. Now we're going to be looking at each file in detail and understand what the content. So first of all, we have the manifest.json, which is basically the metadata and all the data needed to initiate your Chrome extension. So this file basically tells all sort of info about your extension to the Chrome browser. So manifest version 3 is the latest version for the manifest file. So we have it written here. Then we have the name of the extension, and then we have the version of the extension. Then we have a description that describes our extension, and then we have some permissions. Extensions can have several permissions like storing data using local storage, or this extension has a permission to the active tab. You can check it out in the Chrome documentations. They have everything written in detail. I'll drop down the link to the Chrome extension docs in the description box below. Make sure to take a look. So we have the background property here, which contains a service worker known as background.js. So service worker is a script that gives your extension app-like capabilities like running in the background or push notifications, something like that. Then we have action property, which has the default pop-up. So the action property contains stuff when you click on your extension or when you try to open up your extension. So it has a default icon of multiple sizes, and there's this default pop-up, which is popup.html, that appears when you click on the extension. Now, since we don't have any icon here, I'm going to be just removing this icon property, otherwise it'll throw an error at me. So we have this content scripts property under which there is this matches property, which basically is to which URL does the content script respond to. And here for us, it's all URLs. So content script will try to run in every possible website that you visit. And the JS is the link to your content script. That is our content.js. Then we have icons for extension. And I'm going to be removing this too because I don't have any icon, and it will throw an error at me if it doesn't find the proper icons. Then we have the background.js. For us, we don't need the background.js much. So we have just added some dummy code here that will log extension installed in the console. So the content.js contains this function name as change background color, and this function changes the background color of the body of your current page that you're visiting to this argument's color. And here we have chrome.runtime on message.add_listener. So it's listening for some request message here, and when the request has an action property of change color, the background color will be changed to request.color. And so we're running this change background color function here with the argument request.color. So the request will contain the data of whether we need to change the color or not, and what color do we need to change it to. And we have send response of status success here. So this is basically received from the popup.html or popup.js. So in the popup.html, we have this link to the style sheet, and we have this h1 saying change background color and 3 buttons for changing the body color to 3 different colors, that's red, green, and blue. So the popup.js here, it has 3 event listeners that's looking for which button is clicked, whether it's red button or the green button or the blue button, and whichever button is clicked, it's passing that argument to this change color function and trying to change the background color. So the change color function is basically sending a message or a request with an action property of change color and a color property of color. That's this argument right here, which is passed here, whether it's blue, green, or red. And then we are receiving it in our content.js and changing the color accordingly. You can check out what chrome.tabs.query or stuff like that mean through the Chrome documentation, which I'll be linking down below in the description. And in the styles.css, we have some basic document styles. So now we'll need to load this extension in our Chrome browser. So let me show you how you do that. So open up Chrome, click on this extension button, click on manage extensions, turn on developer mode right here, and click on load unpacked. Then you can choose the directory where you have your extension files, and then you can click on select folder. And our extension is successfully loaded to our browser. Let's open up a page and test this out. I'm going to be opening Wikipedia for this one. Let's go here, click on background color changer. This is the popup.html. Let's click on red. Woo, that's great. Let's click on green and blue. As you can see that this is working super fine, but if you refresh the page, the color will be removed. If you want the color to stay, you'll have to store the details in the local storage. Then you have to give your extension permissions for the local storage and stuff. And you can check those out through the documentation I have linked below. If this video helped you learn something new, please drop a like, a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do so to watch more fun tutorials like this one. I'll see you again in another video. Until then, goodbye.